All right, listen, it is always good to have great people stop by to say hello. I got to tell you, here's one of my favorite people, a part of my musical family and my journey, the incredible, incomparable. And I got to say something, always so accommodating, so wonderful, and so sweet when you are in my company. And I thank you for the many years that you have graced my audience and my space, Eric Benet. Welcome to Conversations with Frankie.
Thank you so much, Frankie. And it has
Yeah.
been years of being blessed to be in your presence because you've been with me from jump, from the
Listen,
start,
yes, yes. Let,
and
let
I'm
me let
grateful.
me start. Let me start here. Let's talk about first your tour. I want to get that stuff out of the way. And I know
Yeah.
that you've got some new music coming as well. Your tour is kicking off. I know that you're going to be in Detroit coming up, but talk about the tour. You're going to be with Joe and Music Soul Child.
Yeah, it's one of those iconic tours that if you are a fan of R&B music, you owe it to yourself to come to this because I feel like the three of us brothers are in the prime of our performance abilities and our mental abilities, and we all been taking care of ourselves so we can all sing like we used to sing when we was in our 20s, and uh and can probably do it a little bit better, and picked
Yeah.
up some extra seasoning and just experience over the decades, so the audience is really going to get the best version of us at the top of our game, really.
Yeah. Let's talk about your latest single as well. So distracted with Shantae Moore. Just two
Yeah,
incredibly beautiful voices. Talk about that.
yeah. Well, Shantae is one of those freaks of nature when it comes to her vocal ability. And I have been hoping and optimistically manifesting that she and I would get in the studio at some point and make something. Didn't know what it
Mhm.
was going to be. And when she did say yes for this project, which I was so grateful for, I thought people would probably expect for us to come with a ballad,
Yeah.
but I thought let me do something else. So um, I was I thought maybe I would vibe something that had a little bit more energy, a little bit more tempo, but still like a throwback R&B vibe to it that would just feel good with her and I on it. And when I was coming up with that melody, I really did have like Shantae's cadence and timbre and everything
Which
in
is
mind.
like
Like,
crazy.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is crazy. I mean, because her range and what she can do with it is amazing.
yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Um, and but she never gets to, people know her for that ballad range, right? But she never really gets to release records or a lot of records that people can
Mhm.
feel, oh, she can have fun too, and she can
Too, yeah.
she can be bouncy with the melody, and she can have that playful vibe too. So
Mhm. Mhm.
and of course it was it's one thing like with this project I would have to we would write the songs that I wrote. I didn't write all the songs, but like
Mhm.
half of the project, like I wrote the songs and produced with my partner Randy Amata. I would write the songs, and then we would bring in a demo vocalist. And there's plenty of dope demo vocalists here in LA.
Okay.
And it was just a couple of the songs. It was just like as dope as the song was when it was just in demo form, you didn't realize just how dope the song was going to
Oh,
be until the actual artist jumped on it. And
wow.
so distracted was one of those joints where it was like, man, when Shantae came in there, because I sent her the demo. She's like, I was like, just live with this for a little while, and then we'll set the studio time. She came in, man. Listen, and so from the first like two syllables of when she was putting her vocal on it, I was like, oh my God, she just took this to like a whole nother level. But that's
Mhm.
Shantae. That's
Yeah.
Shantae.
Yeah. Okay, so you started talking about it. You've got some more music that's gonna be coming out. Just talk about, your next album. Talk about that, the what we can expect past
Yes.
so distracted.
Yeah, so I started a new record label. It's called JBR Creative Group. We've signed a couple incredible artists. We have Autumn Page. We have, and she is just like this, man, amazing ball of energy and creative vibe with green
Hmm.
hair and just dope melodies and like this. You got to check her out, Autumn Page.
Okay.
And then we got Joe Leone, who is, some people call him like Blue Eyed Soul because he a white boy, but he sings like so soulfully, and he's so
Yeah.
talented. He plays keyboards and guitar, and he's actually on tour right now with October London and
Oh,
Tamar
cool.
Braxton.
Give the name. Give his name again. Joe
Joe
Leone.
Leone,
Okay, with
Leone.
good. So I want people to make sure they check it out. So when October London, who is more than worth your time to come through and check out, make sure you
Yeah,
check out Joe Leone as well.
Ro James is on that tour too. So,
Oh
but
wow. Okay, good.
yeah, so we started this record label, and Allison Ball, who is my CEO, who actually gave me my first record deal
Wow.
way back in the day. Like I was like, look, I got a record label, but I don't want to be the one to actually like run it
Got it?
because I'm a creative
I was gonna
person.
say,
Like my
yeah.
creative energy is crazy, but the administrative and the manager, I'm like, yo,
Yeah, 'cause
that ain't
you
my
know what?
jam.
When you said that you have your label, there are 2 sides to that, and creative people wanna
Yes.
be creative. When you start
Yeah.
talking numbers and plus and
Yeah.
minus and it's a whole different I was gonna say, how have you married those 2 things, but you just answered that.
100%. So when it comes to anything creative, it's like what you think about this artist, what you think about this hook, what kind
Yeah,
of song does this artist need on their album? You know, that's me all day. That's
yeah,
me all
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But
Listen, Eric,
but
I've got about 4.5 minutes, and I want you to close with anything you want my audience to know. But I wanted to ask you this as well, because people, we've been in it for a minute, you and
yep,
I both. And now with
yep.
social media, people will DM me, they'll messenger me. Most of that stuff I don't even read. I just want to remind y'all of that. It's hard to get to all of them. But there are new artists or artists that are trying in this day of social media and this day of record companies, as you and I remember it from the 80s and 90s, right, has just changed. How would a new artist get their music heard or get signed? What would you give them now as a just one of the best in the game as a performer? Now you've got your own label, business and creative side. What would you say to them? Because I ain't got an answer.
I would say that's an excellent question. I would say there's something very similar as to the way we used to do it back in the day, but then there's
Hmm.
something very, very different
Okay.
that you need to make an adjustment for in this day and age of complete accessibility and authenticity on this whole little
Hmm.
um, window to your life. Um, Back in the day, the rule the name of the game was consistency. Um, uh, I wouldn't necessarily share everything with everybody, but I was
Mm.
in the studio every day. I was in the studio every day working on something, trying to perfect something. Um, I think that is the similar thing of today, but the difference is you need to bring the public into that whole process now.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
so even if you write, first thing you need to do is write every day. Like go in the studio, even if it's like some junk you think, this ain't this probably ain't gonna be nothing, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
start this song, and I'm gonna finish writing it to the end, and then put it down. Like
Yeah.
record some version of it. I think it's important. Uh, um, the vibe back in the day was there would be like this proverbial curtain in front of our life, and we wouldn't let people see everything. We would open that curtain when we wanted to open the curtain, so there was more
Mhm,
mystique.
mhm.
That's gone. That's gone. It's like people don't want mystique no more. They want to see like your authenticity. They want to see your process. And I think in the process of doing that today, cream always rises to the top.
All right, that
You
part.
know,
Yeah.
there is, anybody who has not only a laptop but who has one of these, they
Mhm,
got a
mhm,
studio in their back pocket, right? So
mm.
everybody walking around with a recording studio, so you can make music and release music like nonstop. But so there's a bigger pool of music. But again, like I said, if you do it consistently, two things are going to happen. People are going to become more aware of who you are, and you're naturally just going to get better and better and better and better until you are that cream that rises to the top. And then people like me, who are scouring the internet all the time looking for that next thing,
Mm.
as somebody who, wow, they look like they got that thing together. They look like they're
Yeah.
focused. They look like they understand how to construct a song. People like me will be like, let me hit them up and see, like, what's up? Do you have management? Are you currently signed? So
Yeah.
I've done that a few times where it's like
Wow. Wow.
I've just through going through TikTok or Instagram, I'm like, whoa, who is this?
Yeah, yeah,
Let me,
wow,
let me,
that's
let me,
crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
because we used to say 6 degrees of separation. Now, like you said, you scour the social media and you could
absolutely.
DM that person. Years ago, it would have been hard to even find a phone number, more or less, to be able to
True.
reach you directly. So it's good to hear that you are out there looking for real, raw, great
Absolutely.
talent, and you can see a plethora of their music, that everything that they
Yeah.
posted. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's
And
I like that.
and oftentimes it's like dope producers will send me artists. Dope producers who I know and who I respect and who respect me will send me something. They'd be like, "E, yo, you got to check out this kid right here."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of that too.
All right, great. May 3rd, you're going to be at the Fox Theater in the Motor City with
Yeah.
Joe. Yeah, in a Music Soul Child, which is going to be amazing. You got to come through Philly as well. We waiting on you for show, for show, for show, for show, for show. And
Man, you know
what
I
is it
love
you want to
Philly.
share? Yeah, what is it when you want to share with us before you go?
I would just like to share that gratitude that here I am in my late 50s, decades later, which is insane. Still doing what I love, still doing what I feel brings me effortless joy, which is music,
Mhm.
and still having people respond to it. So, and people like Frankie Darcell, who years and years later are still supporting me and
We
allowing
look
me to
good
talk
though,
to people.
don't we? We look good with you and your
Shit, we
fine
look
self
good.
back there. We look good. Don't play. We do what we do.
Don't
We
play.
look good.
We drinking our water. Shoot,
Right.
right?
Eric, thank you so very much. I appreciate you stopping by when I got the message that you
Thank
were
you.
available. I said, absolutely, I'll get up early
I
to
love it.
come and chat with this brother. Thank you. And I believe that everybody deserves their flowers. You just never know in this
Thank
crazy
you.
world we're in. But brother, let me just say to you, thank you for what you do. Thank you for continuing to do it. And we often see people and we like the fact that they play ball, that they sing, and they're really
Yeah.
horrible people. I just want my audience to know that. Eric, you happen to be one of those people that not only, we're all human, but not only have you been a joy in my career, of the beautiful music. I tried to get my producer Reese to load up Georgie Porgy because I was gonna sing it for you when you came on. I'm just telling you
Woo!
that I love that spend my life, all that love but Georgie
Mhm.
Porgy is my jam. You're on my player in my truck. I don't even have my
I love
radio
that.
on when I drive, but
I,
this past weekend, and I didn't know I was gonna get this interview confirmed. You're on my top 20 CD that I have that I play in
woo!
my car. And when I drive, that's when I get a chance to blow out. Georgie Porgy is my jam. So I just want you to know that when I was driving through Maryland last weekend, we were all in Eric Benet and Georgie Porgy. Okay, but I was mad I couldn't sing it for you today
Man,
because
I love that.
I got time
And
for a second career.
you know what, Frankie? I love that. And Georgia Porgy really is one of those songs where I'll
Yeah,
play it and I'll A and B it to something that just came out. It holds up. It holds
that's
up
right.
like 20
That
some
is
years
one of my
later.
favorite. I love all of your music, and I can name many of them. But the one that just speaks to my spirit and has always spoken to my spirit is Georgie Porgy. I just got to
I
tell you
love
that.
that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Thank you, my dear.
Always a pleasure, Frankie.
All right. Eric Benet is my guest. Conversations with Frankie Darcell. We appreciate you being here. Be well. We'll look to see you on tour.
All right. Love you, babe.
Love you back, and ain't nothing you can do about it.